That is very nice.
Yeah.
So you have.
So this is on site, that she was there
just
painting
painting.
away. Yeah.
Just painting
No,
away.
it's an oil painting.
Right, and this is extremely unique stuff. This isn't, you can only get it from you guys.
Through
Through
us.
yeah.
And the other thing is we had a large kickoff party on December the 9th on site, and December 9th happened to be the day that it was so cold, and we'd had that
And rainy.
rainy that
And
spell.
rainy.
So, and we had a jazz sextet there playing, and the mayor came and vice mayor came, and
You were there yourself.
and
I was
you,
there.
You were
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And what we were so pleased with, that regardless of the weather, we had over 800 people there.
I remember, yes, it was a good,
I mean,
very good turnout.
over 100 people there. And we were really surprised at the turnout. So what's happened is, through partnership, which is allied with Coral Gables Community Foundation, which is a 501c3, any donations that we get, the checks are made to the Coral Gables Community Foundation with the notation of water tower, and it goes into the partnership account. And then eventually that money will be given to the city. So what happens is, we raise money through all these different avenues, and then people are giving us donations. So we've actually raised, I'm trying to think how much it is now, a considerable amount, maybe $5,000 over the grant we have and the pledge
Right.
that we have. We've applied for another grant, and we have a number of leads that we've gotten from the kickoff party, and word of mouth.
Which is the most important thing, especially in a
Absolutely.
residential,
And
city
we
like Coral
envision
Gables.
this going on for 6 to 12 months, this campaign.
At least.
Yeah, I mean, we're committed for the long term, not just one or two events.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And you guys are really getting it out there. I understand that you were also at the farmers market every Saturday.
Yes.
Now tell me about that.
Well, at the farmers market, we have a table, and
Every
there-
Saturday.
Every Saturday, from 8 to 1 o'clock, and there we try to share information. All of us on the committee are very interested in historic preservation, and so we try to share information about preservation, in particular the water tower, and we sell the posters, the postcards, and the buttons, and accept donations. And last week we raised about $500, which I didn't really expect to do so well. I mean, I was very pleased, and people came by and they would buy the cards, a half a dozen packages at a time. They make great gifts. You know, one of the things that's really important is heritage tourism.
Right.
So when you have, all of us have people coming to visit from all over the place, from Europe, from the United States, and what do we all do? Everybody on the committee drives people by our historic monuments, and particularly the water tower. So this is a source. I think one of the things people have to remember is the economic impact
Exactly.
of preservation, and one of them is the heritage tourism. Then it also creates jobs. Look at right behind you, you'll see the Venetian pool.
Yep.
And people have to work there to have, you know, the pool open to the public.
Of course.
It also needs restoration work from time to time, and that creates jobs, you know, as well as public works helping us with it. And it tells the history of our city and lures in international companies, and it brings people who want to live in a city that has an old world charm. So we need to preserve that for future generations.
So you would say that even though the way that, the city's doing and pretty much everywhere, that this is economically feasible to do right now, even though it may seem like a lot of money, but we
there
can
is
make
a
it happen.
return on that investment
Of course.
long term, is what I think Kendell was getting.
Right, of course. It's
Yeah.
just that, some people might worry that, we have so many things that we need to take care of, that they have their own money issues and everything. But I think
And
people are starting to
rightly so.
realize that it is important.
Right.
Well, it's important just because of what I was just saying, the economic impact of preservation on a city. That our monuments bring us money because it brings us people. it brings us tourists.
Of course, I see
I
the
mean-
buses come with
Yeah.
tourists full. They stop at Venetian Pool. They stop at the
I live
water
right near
tower.
Look
the
at
Venetian pool, and I constantly see the tour
Right,
buses. And I always
Venetian-
wave to them, of course.
And look at the Biltmore Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
of
know, the
course.
Merrick House, the newly renovated museum. That's created jobs. So I think those are things that people need to think about. We need to preserve our monuments as a source of income.
Yes, as income.
So it's really a simple. It's just like my preserving my house. If I want my house to maintain its value, I need to take care of it. I
Right.
need to maintain it. And one of the things I would like to see in the future is there to be a dedicated line in the budget for maintenance of all of our monuments, and that perhaps there even be some type of either whether it's within the city and public works or whether we have to go outside and privatize a 5-year contract for maintenance. It's something that really has to be done.
It's very important. And you yourself, you told me before, you live in a historic home.
Right.
You know this is your passion. So
But
how important is it?
Another way to look at it, which is the other side of this, is imagine Miami without the Freedom Tower.
Yeah.
Imagine Coral Gables without the Water Tower, or the Biltmore, or the Venetian Pool. Imagine Paris without the Eiffel Tower. I mean, everything's relative, but when you scale it down to our city, without those assets, you know, we're not as viable. Those assets help us to be more economically viable.
And like we spoke about earlier, maybe people that drive by don't really look at it, maybe don't notice it, but if it was gone, they would notice.
They would
Yeah.
notice it. Exactly right.
And so if people want to get some more information, maybe help the cause, join up.
Which we would welcome.
Where can they get more information?
They can contact Kendell Turner at through my email, which you could put on the
Yeah, well-
program, but it's C as in cat, A as in apple, T as in Turner, K as in Kendall, S as in sugar, T as in Turner, at AOL.com.
You need to
But-
put that up.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah.
It's my husband's and my initials.
Okay, great.
And-
And so they can just ask you any questions, get all the information, and it'll go directly
Totally.
to you.
Yeah.
And I understand really quick before we finish that there's going to be an event.
Mm.
And can you just tell me a little bit briefly about that?
There's going to be an event on March the 24th, and it'll be at the home of another one of our committee members.
A historic
and
home.
A historic home.
Mhm.
And in fact, it was a home that was one time owned by Senator Claude Pepper.
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
it's going
It's
to
a
be,
beauty.
it's
a
really
beauty.
beautiful. And that committee member also, it's a 20s house, and that committee member also restored his home as
Exactly.
Bruce did, rehabilitated.
That's what I was saying earlier. These people on the committee are committed.
And I rehabilitated my
Yeah,
house,
exactly.
and Amy did hers, and I mean and Anna and Jad, and Raul Rodriguez is on our committee, Catherine Sadui. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out. But everybody has, that interest. Another thing that we're doing to raise funds is we have a local ceramist who is doing a miniature of the water tower. In fact, we should get the protocols of them this weekend.
Oh, great.
And we'll be selling them at the party on the 24th, in addition to original artwork.
Great. So there's going to be a lot going on, and of course we'll be showing on CGTV everything that happens with the water tower. We'll keep the people informed, and so if you want to get involved, just stay tuned. Email Kendell and definitely come out, because the water tower is very important to the city, and what we've been saying is it's part of the city's history, so we need to keep it alive.
Exactly.
Thank you two so much for coming out.
Thank
Our
you.
pleasure.
And Coral Gables Now is just getting started. Up next, are you confused about your Medicare or Medicaid benefits? There is a free service meant just for seniors to get advice and help. Email scams are growing in popularity. How you can protect yourself. And Fairchild breaks ground on a state-of-the-art science facility. We'll tell you what it means for your community. Coral Gables Now will be right back.